You're listening to a Comics XF podcast.
X-Men. Get it!
Hey everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Battle of the Atom. This is your weekly X-Men podcast where we rank every story from A to Z.
Dun 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 dun. Adam.
And I'm Zach. Hey, hi Adam. We're talking about sharks this week.
Yeah, chomp chomp. What up?
You know, my wife loves shark movies.
Shark movies or shark
movies?
Docs.
No, like shark movies. Like
the Meg.
Yes, like open water, like The Shallows,
Deep Blue Sea.
Yes, Deep Blue Sea. Loves her some Deep Blue Sea. My wife, you get my wife alone with a shark movie, she is going to flip her lid. She does not like scary movies. She does not like horror movies.
Yeah.
I'll put on a one of the spooky movies that you like and that I like, and she will be like, "I'm not watching that." I watched Weapons the other week, and she was like, "I'm not watching that."
Loved Weapons.
Weapons was pretty good. Weapons was.
She didn't.
Pretty,
she not into that though.
Not even a little bit of going to give this a try.
Yeah.
Nopes out immediately. Shark movies though. My wife can comprehend and understand a shark. She doesn't like the existential horror. She's like, that's a shark. A shark could kill me. Yeah. So I can be afraid of it, but I'm also aware that sharks live in the water. I live on the land. We respect each other's distance.
You want to test her on this. There's a 2025 horror movie called Dangerous Animals.
Animals.
Yeah. It features.
I'm going to text her right now.
Yeah. See if she can handle that, because that might test your theory. It's basically about a serial killer who gets his, I don't know how else to say this. He gets excited by putting people in a harness and feeding them to sharks out in the open water.
Oh, I'm immediately sending this trailer to my wife, who will be like, interesting.
It was good. I'm not saying it's like great or anything, but like it is pretty dang scary at points, and I think it might put that horror versus shark movie to the test. He's the guy.
Huh.
He's the evil serial killer guy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we are talking about sharks this week.
We are talking about sharks this week. And the thing I think about sharks is that how they are nature's perfect predator, and how they are the existential evil incarnate in this world. And that's what we all get from X-Men comics, correct?
I guess. I mean, sharks appear so much in comics in general that, of course, they've appeared in the adventures of our mutant heroes here. So we've got a couple appearances for him this week. Why are we doing sharks? This was a Patreon You Pick 'em?
This was a You Pick 'em from over a year ago. At the time, I said, I think we've covered all the issues with sharks in them.
Oh, no.
And then I saw the request again, and I saw the issues that they requested, and I said, we have not done all the issues that have sharks in them. In fact, we have done few of the issues that have sharks in them. So I'm delighted by this. And those You Pick 'ems, by the way, do you know what's crazy about them, Adam?
I mean, we just got some new ones from our patrons.
That's right, because, folks, those are exclusive to our good friends over at patreon.com/Battle of the Atom. Here's the thing about patreon.com/Battle of the Atom. When you go over there, reach deep down into your coins and pocketbooks and toss a couple of coins into our coffers. Hearts and pocketbooks, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Hearts, pocketbooks, coins, coffers. It's the thing. Normally it's automatic. I was telling Adam, I'm on a weird day today.
You're okay, buddy.
I try. I'm not okay. I'm just what I am. I am
just like a shark.
Just like a shark.
Moving forward.
I can't stay still. I can't stay still. That's what they taught me at Ohio's most affordable business school. You got to be a shark. And you gotta gobble up everybody's Patreon money. And when you let me gobble up your Patreon money, first at the $5 a month level, you get an episode based around a suggestion of your choice. But that's not all, folks, because if you have, let's say, more than one idea, well, then you can throw everything into a bucket that we have called the You Pick'ems, and we'll pick them if your ideas aren't trash. I'm not saying your ideas are trash. I'm just saying we know what makes a good episode, and sometimes we know what's not going to make a good episode, and that an idea is like, I like it, but these are going to be the restrictions that would make it not a great episode. Or, hey, we've covered over 1,000 comics on the list. Maybe your suggestion is a little too narrow, and we've covered all the bits and pieces that we would previously do differently.
It's true. Sometimes we just have already done it before. So, but I suspect even after we talk about these 3 shark stories that there are going to be more. I mean, we did some shark articles for Comics XF back in July, and it was astounding to me how many shark characters there are in comics, how many shark fights there are in comics. I mean, it's bonkers. In fact, there was one in today's episode that I didn't know about until this past week that I was like, how did I miss this one?
How did you miss that shark?
It's not even a shark, it's a dude. So I'm excited to.
Oh, we talk about. Okay, yep.
Yeah, we don't want to.
I also had read that at one point in a blur and didn't process it until I read it now. We'll talk about it. TMTM, do not steal. My favorite character that needs to come back. Not because I agree with him. I want to be clear. Incredible work. We'll get to that.
Well, we're going to start this week with something classic. This is one of the backup stories from Classic X-Men. This is from Classic X-Men number 13. The main story is from X-Men 105, but the backup is Chris Claremont with the amazing, the talented John Bolton, and a story called Life Signs, starring Phoenix, aka Jean Grey. Definitely not an entity apart from a lady at the bottom of Jamaica Bay in a cocoon.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Because this comic made me have thoughts and feelings about Jean Grey. It also stars her, and they were roommates, Misty Knight.
Yes, Misty Knight, as well as some cameos from the rest of the sort of crew there, including Iron Fist and Colleen Wing, Daughters of the Dragon. Because as we know, Claremont wrote Iron Fist for a chunk of time, so he's interested in these characters.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Misty Knight and Colleen Wing, and you're like, oh, I get why Claremont liked writing these two more than perhaps writing Luke Cage and Iron Fist. They are... Sure. I'm sorry. And I say that as a guy who likes Luke Cage and Iron Fist. But I know what Chris Claremont likes.
There is a moment in this story where Misty Knight is kind of like dreamily thinking about Iron Fist and how hot he is. And I'm just like, this guy looks like such a dweeb. Like... He's got his shirt open with the dragon, and
hold on. Okay,
he's daydreaming about her.
Here's the thing about Danny Rand. Here's the thing about Danny Rand Iron Fist.
Yes,
very dated for white guy in the 70s to be the best at kung fu ever. Agreed. No one's disagreeing with that.
Especially when you already have Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. That's weird to have.
My understanding is in the 70s had better comics actually. However, I do love Danny Rand. I love his dumb tattoo on his chest.
Yeah.
And also that Fraction Brubaker Immortal Iron Fist run with David Aja art is so freaking good. And just to be clear, juggles with all of this stuff. Like the comics were already there. Like, yeah, we get this is a little odd, but comics do that sometimes. Anyway, I love Danny Rand. I love his dumb tattoo. I love this. What I also love is the most Claremont thing ever happening, which is right after Misty Knight dreams of Danny Rand, because she's going on like a mental spirit journey, where she sees Colleen Wing saying, "Our world, Misty, someone has to stand up for the helpless. Cut the sharks down to size."
Mm-hmm.
Which is a great line. That's when Misty Knight in her dream is literally torn between her two great loves, a different kind of love, but no less fierce, demanding, integral to her very being. And that's her love between her girlfriend, Colleen Wing, and her boyfriend, Danny Rand.
Yeah.
It's
right there on the page.
It's Chris Claremont has wrote some pretty gay stuff. This is the gayest thing Chris Claremont's written.
I don't know if it's the gayest, but it's definitely on there on the list. It's right there.
Underrated sapphic moments from Chris Claremont.
Yeah. I mean, this is also a story in which our two protagonists are down on the beach in their bathing suits by, a little bonfire that they've created. And, we're dealing with the fact that Jean is not Jean anymore. Jean is Phoenix now. And Misty's like, you're a little different. You're not exactly the same exact kind of person. And Jean's like, no, it's just me. I just have crazy powers and I'm cool now.
But she's dealing with it. Jean is sitting here like, I'm not the woman I was. I look, feel, act like I'm Jean Grey, but there's always a but. But what? I don't know what I am. What I'm becoming. Why? Incredible Claremont dialogue.
And just to prove how weird she is, this story happens where she responds to what she says is the call of help from the sea of like a
out to the ocean. There's a family in trouble.
Yes. And they, Misty and Jean row out there. They get out there. Jean just like dives right into the ocean. Misty's like, where? I don't see a family. What are we talking about? Yes.
Then there's a shark.
Yes. At which point Misty gets into the water with the shark and of course gets to punch the shark with her bionic arm, which is rad.
Very good. I like it. Absolutely no notes. Misty keeps talking about how she's like, does Jean have limits? All this stuff. The shark gets the better of Misty, but then boom, dolphin attack.
Yes. The dolphins save the day.
Well, you know, Adam.
Yes.
Dolphins are glad to save the day. Sharks are their ancient enemy.
Yeah, I mean,
Claremont says that. It has to be true. Sharks are dolphins' ancient enemy.
What's
Do you like to know the ancient enemy? Because I think that sharks are dolphins' ancient enemy.
So wherever he came up with that, it's great. What's even better though is when Misty gets back
from them being ancient enemies, Adam.
Sure. When she gets back into the boat and Jean is there and she's like, wait a minute, I almost got killed. And this is the quote that I love, for a family of fish, because Jean was out there to save the dolphins.
Hardly fish. They're mammals, as intelligent and sophisticated in their own way as we.
That's what Jean says.
Misty Knight is not having it, but no. Jean then connects Misty Knight's brain in a psychic rapport with the mama dolphin, so she can feel all the things that the dolphin feels and understand that the dolphin is another living, breathing being on this world, and that all things have their place, and that also that the dolphin is spiritually Jean Grey.
Which is wild because I feel like, this has a nice connection to the Bizarre Adventures story.
Another story where Chris Claremont's like, Chris Claremont says, Jean Grey's like dolphins, guys.
Yeah, she gets turned into mermaids. Her and Sarah Gray get turned into mermaids in that one. And I feel like this is a very similar story. But man, it's that perfect level of just weird, but also great portrait of character work that Chris is doing in these backup stories. I have such a fondness for these backup stories. And this one really is, it's fun. I don't know. I like it.
This might be peak classic X-Men backup because it walks that fine line of being a nice character moment that dances through the raindrops and really adds color and layers to the story. But also Chris Claremont is freaking insane.
Yeah.
John Bolton, no notes. John Bolton, you're gorgeous. Everyone looks gorgeous. Incredible layouts, great like story structure. Underrated artist, John Bolton. Chris, though, buddy, this one's it's weird because he makes it work. That's the thing. That's the thing. When he's like, well, as we all know, sharks, dolphins, ancient enemies. The dolphin's a creature of light and wit and brilliance, while he is one of ages, old instinct, eternal as the ocean. They are present, leaping gaily towards the unknown future. He is the anchor to the past, the dawn of the world and life. And it's like, yeah, so the Phoenix, that's a dolphin. That's what he's getting at here, is that the Phoenix Force is like a dolphin. And his metaphor doesn't work, but he says it with such conviction. Now, here's what I think is really interesting about this and what I was thinking
Yeah,
about.
I want to hear more about this idea, your Phoenix thoughts.
So much of this story and so much of the Dark Phoenix saga is about how, hey, unlimited power is not actually good for you and isn't well controlled and isn't like, even if you can do these beautiful things like bringing life, probably not good for a person to have this. And I feel like that has been somehow lost since the resurrection of Jean Grey, and we have moved into fandom brain. I am the most powerful, so I'm going to do the most powerful things with no repercussion mode.
Yeah.
And this is not Zach being like, oh, we can't have strong female characters. Shut up. You know, that's not me. This is like, I feel like we are missing, like, if Jean can just control it and can just like actually be the most perfect person and all that, and it really was that, oh, well, she was just manipulated and that made her go crazy. That's a worse story.
Yeah.
Like, it is. Just so what? You could draw her using her powers in space instead of on Earth?
Yeah.
To what end?
It's that classic problem of having, an overpowered hero and no consequences, right?
Well, I mean, there's consequences. I wouldn't know about them because that book was unreadable, but I'm sure there were consequences. I didn't say that out loud, did I?
I don't know. You might have. You might have, but I'm not judging.
Okay.
I want to point to, I want to go back to your Claremont love there. And just, I want to point to a really fun post on Blue Sky from Tegan O'Neill from earlier this week that said, years of exhaustive study have led me to the unshakable conviction that Claremont cannot fail. He can only be failed by faithless readers. Our hearts are simply not pure enough to understand. And I feel like that's a very good thing to think about when it comes to this story.
Hey, as big fan of Stanley Presents, X-Men, the End, book 3, whatever, Men in X-Men, I think that one was called. Yeah. Tegan's right. Absolutely right. It's on us. It's on us. Claremont.
I mean, I stand by Claremont being terrible in the 21st century, but there's something to that, that he's just putting it out there.
There's an incredible difference. There's an incredible difference between Claremont's 21st century work and the works of, say, a Chuck Austen. Like,
yeah, sure.
And Chuck Austen's bad in his own truly beautiful way.
Two different kinds of bad.
Claremont's bad comes from an insane level of, I am doing what I want to do. This is pure id. And you're seeing glimpses of that here, and it's working. And like, the moment that a Chris Claremont comic comes out, I read it. Like, that's
gotta know what's going on.
I gotta know what Chris is doing. Chris Claremont, a gentleman that once argued with me for an hour and a half over me having him sign a picture of Nanny dressed as Fran Drescher's character, the Nanny, from the TV sitcom The Nanny. And then him asking that you drew. And then him asking, hey, what's Nanny up to these days? And then I had to explain to Chris, well, Nanny's up to a lot, Christopher.
Yes.
Here's what's going on. I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but if not, I'm going to say it here again because I still think it's funny. He starts arguing me about Krakoan Resurrection, and I said, that's not true. If you get turned into a baby, you can do unlimited crimes, Chris. You wrote that in Marvel law, not me. And he was like, son of a gun. He's got me there. He's got me on that one. Babies can do unlimited crimes.
Well, he definitely got me with this particular story. I liked it a lot. I think this is worthy of a top 300 spot on our big old list. Zach, what is that?
I'm sorry. My wife did text me back about that shark movie, and she said, I don't think it's going to be enough sharks for me.
Oh, okay. So it's a shark quantity issue. That's interesting. Okay.
I don't know, because
she is right. The majority of it is not like looking at sharks.
Hold on. I would argue most shark movies are both not looking at sharks that often and also have a singular amount of shark in them.
Depends on the movie. I mean, Deep Blue Sea has multiple sharks. Jaws sequels have either lots more sharks than Jaws.
Sequels? Who watches anything but Jaws?
I don't know. You said she's into shark movies. Tell him what the big old list is.
Hold on. I'm sorry. We have to do one more thing. My wife doesn't like Jaws all that much. I don't understand that.
That's okay. Not everybody has to like the same things.
No, but if she likes shark movies, why would you not? I don't love her to death. She is the Colleen Wing to my Misty Knight. But I'm trying to run that math in my head, and I actually do think that makes sense.
Okay.
I was trying to see. My wife is an unseen character on this podcast, much like Julio, who gets the stretch in the song Uptown Funk. We don't know about Julio, but Julio is there. My wife, that's her.
You got me with that one. Julio with the stretch.
But I do think my wife is the Colleen Wing in our relationship, and I'm the Misty Knight. For what that's worth. Anyway, the thing is, we've been my wife has been tolerating us ranking over 1,000 X-Men comics from best to worst. We've ranked 1,098 unique X-Men comics from best to worst, with the best being the House of X Powers of 10, 250th being that Wendigo story from Uncanny X-Men 139, 140. The Venom Brood story from Spider-Man and the X-Men's at 500. The London Hellfire Club is at 750. Alpha Flight 17 is at 1,000. We do not respect Alpha Flight on this podcast, so that's why it's there. And at the bottom of our list is 2099 World of Tomorrow, a bad comic. Okay, Adam.
So yeah, I think it's a top 300 story. At 300, we have New X-Men, Childhood's End, Childhood Crusade, and I don't know. I think this is better than that.
I think that's true. The highest ranked classic X-Men we have is 35, which is Paper Not Plastic, and that is at number 294. I do think this is better than that.
I think it is as well. That's a Kitty Pryde story that's pretty interesting. But I'm looking up the list. I'm curious. Don't think I would go higher than, I don't know. I just highlighted Magic Volume 2.
This is a better comic than Magic Volume 2, a comic we like.
Yeah, we do like that comic a lot.
This is probably not as... At 259 is the Omega Red arc that Jim Lee draws.
Yeah.
That does have that great Gambit. No, that's the different one. Gambit's great in that too.
That has Gambit basketball.
It has Gambit basketball. It doesn't have Gambit throwing a pie at Bishop, which was the moment I was thinking of. Man,
no, it does.
A lot of
that's the same.
That's in number 8 because that starts the Bird Trouble in the Big Easy because Belladonna.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You should know all the times Bishop's been hit with boysenberry. Yeah. I don't think it's as good as that though. I would say this. I would think this should go below the end of the Cy Spurrier X-Force at 263. But what's your thoughts?
I think I would put it below The Secret Life of Eva Bell at 264, but above 265, which is the Master Mold arc of Uncanny.
Which would make this the new 265, wouldn't it?
All right. That is a good place for it, but we are not done with punching sharks quite yet. We are going to a character who I don't know if everybody is on the same page with this being an X-Men. This is Namor, the first mutant, number 5.
I'll tell you why I'm on the same page about Namor being an X-Men character.
Yeah.
It's because I bought the Kieran Gillen Uncanny
Yeah,
X-Men
yeah.
#1, and Namor was on that team. It's literally as simple as that. It was no, Namor was there.
Yeah.
Namor is really a Fantastic Four character, but he can play with the X-Men when he wants, and I think that is good. I like Namor.
I do like the idea that Namor could just pop in and be in the X-Men. I do think that that's a fun idea, even though I don't really associate him with X-Men. Even though,
I mean,
like you said, he's in the Gillen stuff.
Here's the thing. I associate Namor more with X-Men than I do like Black Panther, and he was in a Black Panther movie.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, he's very clearly a Fantastic Four character.
Yes, he's a Fantastic Four character. Everyone agrees. We're trying to figure out Namor's secondary alliance, and let's be honest, if he has a secondary alliance, it's the Invaders.
Right. Yeah, that's really
so we're
true.
really talking about tertiary Namor factions. But
this
Namor's the first mutant, this book says.
Yeah, this book is from like 2010, 2011. It's written by Stuart Moore. This particular issue is split art duties between Ariel Olivetti, who I'm most familiar with on Cable, and Brian Ching, who's doing the flashback sections of this story.
With a great Mike Mayhew cover.
Oh, great cover. You've got Namor. Who's he kissing here? Betty Dean?
Yeah, he's kissing Betty Dean.
And as what is this? A battleship of some kind is like being blown up in the background. It's super great. It's sexy. It's fun. I like it. It's good.
It's a good cover, and it has gotten this book. This is the first time the book is not talking about Curse of the Mutants. So that's good. Do you know who the secondary protagonist of this book is?
I do. This is a character that I am super unfamiliar with.
Really? Because I know you were on Twitter in 2021, and it was hard to not be familiar with Loa parentheses Alani Ryan.
Yes, I remember there being online controversy about this character, but
was it controversy or was it one weird person?
I don't know. I remember people talking about Loa Alani Ryan, and
it was one person. It was the beautiful thing X-Men fans do when they get really into someone who does not matter.
Yeah, Loa has what? How many appearances? Let's see if she has more or less appearances than Azazel. Actually, Loa has way
more.
Yeah,
because Loa is a character you can draw in the background and be like, if we just give her a little bit of color on her face, we're like, great. There's our wallpaper right now. That is why those new X-Men kids are good. Because they're great wallpaper. That's why they killed off all the ones that look boring.
Yeah.
They only kept the ones that you could use in crowd shots. And that's great. And then some Tumblr people got on them and were like, we love these characters. And I'm like, they're not a lot. And no one was brave enough to say that. And then Connor Goldsmith gets freaking popular. And he's like, I don't care for those kids. And then all of a sudden, we're allowed to make fun of them instead of getting chased off of the internet for it, like I did in the past.
Those Academy X fans they're still out there.
They're 40 now. They can get over it. Go get a mortgage.
50 years. Sorry. So there's two storylines here. One is going back into Namor's Silver Age backstory and talking about like what it was like to be in a relationship with Namor when he is either a villain or he is one of the invaders, or whether he is sort of like, being king of Atlantis and then coming up at random times.
Namor when you're playing that game, Namor is not Mary. He's also not Kill. But Namor is definitely not Mary.
Yeah, but if you want him to be your
The other one, he's not going to be Mary. If you have three choices, Namor's not Mary at all, and he's definitely not Kill. That's just who Namor is, and you have to accept that's what you're getting out of Namor. That's just
well. Betty
he's a
Dean
shark. He ain't
does
gonna
not
change.
agree. Betty Dean does not agree with you. Betty Dean would like at least a phone call from Atlantis every once in a while.
I'm not saying that he's a good boyfriend. I want to say specifically he's not. Betty is in the right. It's just also like the first time she sees him is when he's flooding Manhattan because he's having a hissy fit.
Yeah, she should know better.
Like, her friend does go and say, like, you shouldn't be dating him. Anyway, I am now learning right here for the first time that Betty Dean is a character from Marvel Mystery Comics #3.
Yeah.
So, like, we're getting some golden age tie-ins here. Anyway, Alani Ryan's grandma, great grandma, something is Betty's friend.
Yes. So we're seeing Alice Terrell Ryan, it's Lois' mom, grandma. What's the deal there?
It has to be at least grandma, because Loa in 2010 is younger than I was in 2010. Mm-hmm. And this person was older than my grandmother was in World War II, because I don't know when my grandma was born, but I don't 100%. I'm pretty sure it wasn't during World War II. Or if it was, she was not a teen in World War II. I'll tell you that.
No. So, we're cutting to the end of the story. There is the really nice moment where Namor meets Alice and goes, "Hey, aren't you?" And she's like, "Yeah, we used to know each other. Like, now I'm old, you're still perfect. Like, this is a fun moment." But we're skipping over our shark content here because we do have to talk about, I believe, is this the only appearance of this character?
First Inno.
This is Great White.
First words. One of the only words that this man says. He is a incredibly white gentleman riding on a shark and says, "Name's Great White, and I gotta use a lot of sunblock." Here's the thing about Great White. One, you can't call yourself that, and I cannot imagine that I agree with this man's politics.
I doubt it, because much like
he calls himself Great White.
Yeah, but much like the protagonist of Dangerous Animals, this guy has the ability to mentally control great white sharks and attack them. Which is affecting the locals. I think Loa.
When you say ability to control, no, he trains them. These are trained sharks. There is nothing to suggest that Great White is doing anything, but these sharks are his pets.
Yeah,
you got to feed them regular, and he is feeding them on human flesh, including Alani Ryan's dad, who she makes her powers work for the first time and surfs through the shark and blows up the shark.
Yeah, this is her origin story. But Namor also comes to the rescue and helps stop Great White. And then we have this cute moment. I like this. I liked Olivetti's art a little bit more than Brian Ching's, but I think it's still a good use of the two artists to, contrast the places in time. I think that's a smart idea.
I think it works. I don't think it tells me anything about Alani Ryan.
No,
Loa.
not really.
Loa parenthesis Alani Ryan. We know her. Doesn't tell me anything about her. Doesn't tell me anything about Namor that I don't already know. It's mostly someone saying, "This is what Namor's like." You know this. We all agree this is what Namor's like. And we get to see the different facets of him, but they're the facets we all know about Namor.
Yeah, it feels very much like a Busiek Ross Marvel's kind of story. Like, here's a third party, observer. Here's what she saw, and now she's going to be connected to a character who's going to be important to the next arc.
And the Olivetti art helps with that because it's weird because Olivetti's an artist that I've seen do stuff that looks bad, frankly.
Depends.
It depends. I think that this actually works really well for him. He's getting a lot of emotion through in the faces. I think honestly his biggest struggles are when he is staging these things as superhero-y moments. Like the other stuff works pretty well. I do not understand having a different artist for the 40s and 50s stuff. Like it doesn't. If they were going to go with someone who had more of a golden age art style fit,
that was my issue with it. Like it's cool that they did a different art style, but it doesn't match the golden and silver age stuff that you would want to be emulating.
It's just not like the digital painting that Olivetti does.
Yeah.
So I get the contrast, but it really looks like you just had to slap another artist on here.
Yeah. And that may be. I mean, sometimes they do things like this, to kind of work with people's schedules.
Yeah, but you could.
Yeah.
They have the Rolodex.
I don't think this is a top 300 story. This is kind of slight and it's nice, but it's also a little bit messy.
Does it make you want to read any other issue of Namor the First Mutant?
It does not.
Good, because if I remember right, this might be the best issue of Namor the First Mutant.
Oh, okay. All right.
This might be where it peaks because it starts with Curse of the Mutants and it ends with Atlantis politics. And I gotta be honest, brother. I got nothing for Atuma, Namora, any of those jabronis. I don't need to know about them. I don't care about their deal. Namor needs to be a king and be hot, and that's what Namor is. He needs to try and steal your wife.
I'm thinking maybe 800s here.
You think this is worse than Dinosaur Rachel?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean, that's trying to do something.
You think this is worse than the start of that X-Force run, X-Force Volume 2 with the Demon Bear?
Where are you at?
That's 800. No, that's 801. I'm sorry, that's 801 now.
That's okay. Yeah, I don't know. That had some cool stuff in it. This is just,
no, because 823 is higher? IVX. Yes. All right, you're getting into some bad comics. This one's like, it's fine. I've got nothing against this one.
It's just bland.
Do you think this is better or worse than Uncanny X-Men, Steve Rogers, and Namor Escape from the Negative Zone?
Oh, that was way better.
Okay.
Yeah, that had some fun art.
That's at 749.
Yeah.
Is this better or worse than Life and Times of Lucas Bishop?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not as good as Dazzler 21, 759, which is when she plays Carnegie Hall.
This is a better story than Cyclops Retribution at 761, though.
Sure. I think it's also better than Ms. Marvel Volume 2, 9-10, 2 Carols.
Okay.
All right, so this is going to be our new 760 Namor, the First Mutant, number 5. We've got one more tale of sharks this week, and this particular shark in this story has become a real phenomenon thanks to writer Kelly Thompson, and that is Jeff the Land Shark. However, we are covering a story that he is a co-star in. That is Deadpool.
Hold on, Jeff the Land Shark is almost exclusively a co-star, except for on his Infinite comic. But those are comics in the way that Garfield is a comic, not in the way that Deadpool is a comic.
They're still really good. Deadpool
Your hero draws them. I've got nothing against them. It's great. Jeff, buddy.
Yeah. Deadpool Volume 7, number 6. This is written by Kelly Thompson, drawn and inked by Kevin Labronda.
Also,
And
people will be mad at me and mad at
Yeah.
us if I don't bring this up. Adam, Deadpool's not big because of that per se. Deadpool's known to people because he's in that video game where Emma Frost is super thick.
oh, Rivals.
Yeah, Deadpool, or
You're talking about Jeff.
I'm sorry, did I say Deadpool?
Jeff was big before Rivals, but Jeff has only gotten bigger because of Rivals, for sure.
Jeff was big in the way that if I said Glob Herman is an important character, we would all say, yes, I agree.
I do think there was a little bit of a crossover, but now it's gone like people know who Jeff is. People are buying stuffed animals of Jeff.
Jeff was a novelty. He has now become like a cornerstone to the horniest people in the world.
Well, this issue is
I'm right.
I'm not arguing with you about
I'm telling the
fans.
fans, not you. I know. You and me, simpatico. They are listeners, the people who reach deep down into the hearts of pocketbooks and $5 a month and all that stuff.
Right.
They need to know.
They know.
I don't know what my point is. I'm sorry, man. It's been a long day.
It's okay.
Let's talk about this comic.
Yeah, let's talk about Deadpool Volume 7, number 6, because this is when Deadpool is the king of what? What is he the king of? Something?
Staten Island.
Staten Island. New Staten Island, a.k.a.
Much like
Monster Island.
Yes, much like Pete Davidson, he's the king of Staten Island. Hey, I'm not an East Coaster.
Yeah.
I'm correct in saying that Staten Island is the New Jersey of the 5 boroughs.
Sure.
Like New Jersey's obviously the real New Jersey of the 5 boroughs, but Staten Island's like the New Jersey of New York City, right?
As in, you think it's the least respected?
Easily the least
of
respected.
The boroughs? Yeah, I guess.
Easily. People make fun of it. I also, for a little bit, did not realize that Staten Island and Long Island were different things.
They're different things. Yes.
They're different islands. They're very close, though.
And no disrespect to any Staten Islanders, but New Jersey.
Some disrespect to Staten Islanders, I think. They have to take a ferry.
Going to be better. Yes, they do have a ferry.
I'm not getting into Jersey talk. I'm not a Jersey girl. I'm not going to dive into that.
You were just here
for work.
So this is an interesting run because it is happening at the same time as the Krakoan era is getting started, and Kelly decides that in this particular issue, Deadpool is going to pay a visit to Krakoa because he's ticked off that he was not invited.
So here's the thing about, we're saying Deadpool's the king of Staten Island, like that's a normal thing. This run is insane because not only does Deadpool become the king of Staten Island also becomes home to every monster.
Yes.
Which I don't live in New York City, so I do not know if that makes sense or not.
I mean,
I don't know.
It could. You could have monsters on Staten Island. There's no reason you couldn't. But, you know, Deadpool has this on again, off again thing with the X-Men. Is he even considered an X-Man? He's not really a mutant, etc.
Well, hold on. We just did this with Namor, so we should do this, you and me, just as a reminder for folks. Deadpool, X-Men character?
Deadpool is an ancillary X-Men character before anything else, for sure.
I would say Deadpool is an X-Men character in the same way that Black Panther is a Fantastic Four character, but not in the same way that Namor is a Fantastic Four character.
Good difference. Yes.
Because Black Panther has like split off and done his own thing, where Namor continues in that orbit.
Yes. I would agree with that.
I think, and that's fine, and it's okay. I don't have to love it. And if I'm coming to X-Men, I don't necessarily want to bring Deadpool into my X-Men at all times.
No.
That's if Deadpool wants to bring X-Men into his stuff, that's okay. But I don't know if I need Deadpool into my X-Men.
I don't mind it when it's seasoning. You know, when he's a cameo, it's fine.
Do you mind it when it's a major motion picture?
It's not my favorite.
It's not my favorite.
No.
Grant Morrison's favorite. I just listened to an interview with them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I love Wolverine and Deadpool," and I'm like, "Grant,
Interesting.
I trusted you."
Well, wasn't Grant
No accounting for taste.
Wasn't Grant also like making a god out of AI or something like that? So just whatever.
I think Grant. No. Our friend Rob talked Grant
talked them out of using AI, right?
That's not a bit. Our
No.
friend Rob talked to Grant Morrison and got Grant to be like, maybe this isn't as good. I don't know. I'm Grant Morrison. I'm doing my own thing right now. I'm like 60. I don't have to worry about this.
Rob won't take credit for that, but he definitely did that.
Rob, hold on. No. Rob took credit to me about that.
Oh, okay. Well, publicly, no. But I love this. Rob's like, man, you're blowing up my spot.
I'm going to text Rob real quick and see how he feels about us saying that.
So Deadpool is very upset. He hides very much like this is a precursor to Moira hiding inside of Banshee's skin suit. This is
bring it back to last episode. The logic does track. Like there was precedent.
There is a difference though, in that the mutant that he hides inside is Jelby, and Jelby is like kind of like Klob Herman. He just doesn't have a skeleton, and Jelby is alive.
Screw Jelby. I don't like Jelby, and here's why.
Because he's Glob without a skeleton.
We already have multiple of this.
Yes,
we already have a couple of guys like this. Claremont came up with one of these guys. I'm forgetting his name, but Claremont has that in, I believe that character appears in God Loves Man Kills too. We have Glob, our beautiful boy. And there's also a member of, what are their names?
There's the one from Magneto War too, isn't there?
I don't know that one.
What's the, oh no, it's not Magneto War. It's,
hold on.
What's the end of X-Men Volume 1? Or X-Men Volume 2? It's and Eve of Destruction. The new X-Men that are in Eve of Destruction has like a see-through guy.
Wait.
I can't think of what his name is.
In Eve of Destruction. Oh, yeah. He's a see-through guy, but he's
not a jelly guy.
No, he's not that's the thing. He's not a jelly guy. He is a see-through guy. I'm blanking on his name as well.
Hector Rendoza, Wraith.
Which is weird because John Wraith is already a different guy who they made kind of see-through in his powers in a couple of things. Hey, why was John Wraith in some X-Men comics this year?
Well, there was a very interesting take on that character where he just became a biblical spewing quoter person. It was very strange. He was in he was a major character in what is it? Hunt for Xavier.
That's right. I am thinking of is it Gloom? Is that?
Oh, I don't know.
No, it's not Gloom.
I mean, the point is there are lots of Jelbies. We don't need a new Jelby, but it does get Deadpool through the door. X-Men attack him. Everybody loves Jeff the Land Shark, even though he's biting people. And, I think the reason you wanted to talk about this one in particular had to do with the fact that Deadpool has this very specific, loud take on this island that is pretty funny.
So this is in mid 2020. And Deadpool gets mad because he wasn't invited to their fancy island. And he's like, they're all stuck up and they're all fascist jerks. And they're not letting any humans on here. And here's the thing. I'm going to say this, and I feel good about this. In the year of our Lord 2020, we were all going through some stuff. All of our brains weren't working right, necessarily. And I remember reading this initially, and I got a little mad at this comic because, in my defense, a lot of Marvel writers were expressing similar thoughts and concerns about Krakoa, but in like a non-ironic way. And it was echoing the most annoying people on the internet who were not saying, hey, the flaws in this are part of the story. They were saying all of these people, here's the worst faith take on everything. Now, that being said, as I am reading this now, it is pretty clear that we are supposed to look at Deadpool and like, right, Deadpool's kind of dumb. Deadpool is a little hurt because his friends aren't letting him do this. He is a little dumb, and perhaps when he's yelling that everybody is fascists that he doesn't like, perhaps Deadpool may be in the wrong on this one. When these people are clearly not acting like fascists. This walks a really interesting line, again, in 2020 and now especially in 2025. Calling people fascists that are fascists, that's a different story. But like, I get it.
I think it's very clear that Kelly is having him have like this giant loud tantrum, and stomping his feet around and I can't believe it. And I think nothing makes that clearer than the conversation that he has with Emma Frost in the Quiet Council circle,
which, by the way, there's a joke in that I am truly shocked got through in 2020. Disney owns a Marvel. The joke where Emma says, "Shut up, Wayne. Kissing my ass is not the way to go in this situation."
Oh, yep.
And then Wade says, "Really? I heard you were pretty into Wade." And I'm like, okay. Well, okay, we're doing
it. It is Deadpool. He's going to say some irreverent things.
It's just that.
Yeah.
Listen. If that joke gets made in 2001, I don't bat an eye.
Yeah.
That joke gets made in 2020 in super sanitized world. I'm like, okay, Marvel.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something there.
Yeah. There's also this very funny, subtle thing. Well, so first of all, Deadpool's making all of his demands. He assumes that Emma's going to give him everything he wants. Emma's basically like, we're not going to give you anything. You can visit sometimes, maybe, if we're feeling up to it. Mainly because you are an agent of chaos and we cannot have you here because we've done the math and we know that if you stick around, there's like a 93% chance the island will burn to the ground. And while this is happening, we see like Emma mistake Jeff the Landshark for a handbag to the point where she's petting Jeff the Landshark and now Jeff the Landshark wants to stay with Emma. I mean, it's a really fun, conversation. And I do think that Kelly really got what the larger conversation was about Krakoa, maybe even taking into consideration what some of the online conversation was about it and brings that to this issue. I think that shows.
I think that shows. I think in execution, I've been thinking about this a lot because I watched last night. I watched the movie Warfare. I don't know if you saw that, Adam.
Oh, the Alex Garland. I'm not a big war movie guy, and I love Alex Garland, but I'm probably not gonna watch that.
Well, and what I thought was interesting is I saw a lot of discourse around that movie, and it brings up a really interesting question about what can you talk about? What can't you talk about? Like, where's that line between you're showing something but not condoning it?
Okay. Yeah.
I think that if you have any sense of media literacy, Warfare, I would not call Warfare a movie that is pro the invasion of Iraq in any way, shape, or form, or a movie that is pro American imperialism, even a little bit. It's also not a movie that's going out of its way to say these things. It's being done in what I would say is Claremontian levels of subtext, but still in subtext. And it is that same question of, if you're going to do this stuff, like, are you at fault for your audience misinterpreting your work? Because I misinterpreted this. Like 5 years ago, I misinterpreted this comic book. But like, yes, I was having brainworms at the time, as we all were in 2020, but still, like, I don't want to go back and listen to those podcast episodes. I'm sure I said some stuff that I probably was like, I give everyone like a 1 year pass. I give everyone like a 1 year pass of,
we're all in a fog.
Gonna call that one.
I'm not gonna. I don't
Okay.
think either of us should say that we had brainworms. I mean that's got a specific connotation now. So,
Oh, does it not?
um,
I did not. I had theoretical brainworms, not literal brainworms. I want to be clear.
I think this works. You know, I've read other issues of this run, which I don't think works. I think that
I think this
I
run as a whole is fairly weak.
it's
Yeah.
it's just not a solid pitch. I don't think. And the art is inconsistent in some cases, even though it features one of our favorites. And it's just I don't know.
I will.
Kelly Thompson hits for me more often than she does for you, I think.
That's true.
You know, but at the
It's
same
just
time, I
friend of the
think
show,
this,
Kelly Thompson, who was on our show year one.
yeah, I think this particular issue really works. I like it a lot. I was just going to say, if like, you know, if they haven't already, you know, if there was a Krakoa omnibus like that needed to collect some other stuff from the era, this would be a perfect thing to slide in there. It makes a lot of sense.
Krakoa, but not from the X-Men books, which is a
Yeah.
very interesting omnibus that would sell.
Yep.
The one thing I will mention, I've said a lot of crap about Joby in this episode, and I stand by it. However, Joby is shaking hands with Glob Herman in one very small panel that I did not see. And I do
They're friends.
I do have a hard time continuing my hate for Joby, even though he's a character that I don't like and I don't think should exist, because we have Glob at home. He is the we have Glob at home is what he is.
Doesn't Joby stay?
Joby does stay.
Yeah.
I mean, tentatively, Joby appears in one other issue of this comic book, and it's a King in Black tie-in that I definitely read, but I have no memory of, and I sure wasn't thinking about Joby during it.
We should try and rank this.
Should we?
Yeah,
we should. We should. Hey, apparently at the end of this run, it is very heavily talked about the Wu-Tang Clan is a big part of this. I don't know why. Again, I'm just trying to figure out what Joby's up to. It looks like he helps fight a Knoll dragon. Hey, did you watch that Venom movie that was about Knoll, but Knoll wasn't really in it? Because that was annoying.
Yep, I did. Yeah.
I watched that in New York City once. I was in the greatest city in the world. I was in the greatest city in the world, Midtown Manhattan. And guess what I watch? I sit in my hotel room and I watch Venom 3.
Yeah.
I was tired.
I would say it was better than Venom 2, but definitely not as good as Venom 1 is the one you want to watch.
Venom,
I think
Venom's a very good movie to watch when you don't want to watch anything.
Is this better?
Should be on TNT movie.
Yeah. Is this better or worse than Cable and Deadpool, The Burnt Offering at 568?
This is worse than The Burnt Offering.
Okay. I think it's better than its 624 Spider-Man Deadpool 23 to 25 arms race.
Oh, yeah. It's better than that.
Okay. So we're in between 568 and 624.
This is worse than 578, which is Legion X or Legion of X 1 to 5. This is worse than that.
Yeah. Better or worse than Hunt for Xavier at 588. You know what? This is not better than Extinction Agenda at 590.
Yeah, I was yeah. Wow, man. What were we on when we ranked Extinction Agenda?
Well,
it's long.
Listen, man. As I said recently, someone mentioned Extinction Agenda on Blue Sky the other day, and I was like, look, it has some, like, maybe the best Jim Lee art ever made, but did you look at the rest of it? It's hard to look at.
Wait, I'm thinking of Executioner's Song.
Oh,
I'm thinking of Executioner's
That's up real
Song.
high. Yeah, where it should.
Yeah. Be. Okay. Yeah. No, we're right about Extinction Agenda, though. We're right.
Yes.
We're right to put Extinction Agenda low because actually 2/3 of that comic is bad. This is better than Runaways 9 to 12 East Coast West Coast.
Yeah, but it's not as good as Marvel Team Up 89 with Spider-Man and Nightcrawler.
Better or worse than New Mutants Annual 3, a comic that I forget which one that is. This is better than that. That's the Impossible Man.
Yeah, this is better than that. I like.
You know what Impossible Man's son's name is?
Somewhat Possible Man.
Adolf.
I don't like that. I don't
Matt
like that at
Fraction
all.
missed on that one. Matt, love you to death. That one
Mm.
was a miss. Don't love it. Didn't love it at the time.
Yeah. So our new
I get-
612 Deadpool Volume 7, number 6. If you hated it when it came out, read it again.
I'm taking a moment to say it's possible that some of the things that I said in 2020 were the product of a very stressful time where maybe I was taking X-Men a little too seriously. But to be fair, it was the only thing keeping me going. That's
Man.
not true. I have kids. I have a lovely shark movie loving wife. But outside of that, it was that and playing Animal Crossing for a little bit.
Whew, everybody's playing Animal Crossing. All right.
But
we
one thing
talked.
that people don't know, I'm just going to say because it's been enough time.
Yeah.
And then we're going to finish this.
Yeah.
One thing people don't know, and this is related to both Animal Crossing in 2020 and X-Men. You know that page in X Factor number 2 where they go to Mojoverse and I say I want to see Dakin's Hog?
Yes.
Did you know that all the other commenters on there are names of some of our other friends' Animal Crossing islands?
Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and look. That's fun.
Do you remember the names of their Animal Crossing islands?
I might. I don't know. It's very possible.
It's possible. Anyway, very funny times. This was fun. I'm glad that we talked about sharks.
I am too. If you want more shark content, I mentioned this at the end of last week. Comics XF back on the week of July 20 something. Just search Comics XF Shark Watch, and we did some fun shark content. There's a fun interview with Stephanie Williams about Street Sharks comic that's coming out now. Shark characters, shark fights. So if you want more shark content, that's out there. Folks, you can always follow on social Adam Rec on Instagram and Blue Sky. And Zach, what are we doing next week?
Next week, we're going to talk about something else that is pointy and some people that we love also love. And that is Nightcrawlers, but not Nightcrawler. We're going to talk about different Nightcrawlers.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about Nightcrawler in there because it's hard to talk about Nightcrawler without talking about Nightcrawlers without talking about Nightcrawler. But we're going to talk about Nightcrawler. We're just swapping our partner's special interests on these episodes, I guess.
Sharks.
But that was not
sharks
intentional.
And Nightcrawlers.
That's not intentional. But until then, folks, this has been Battle of the Atom. We hope you survived the experience.